somebody else was recording. Yeah, so we just missed the whole 20 minutes of the podcast. Oh my God. Welcome to a One Take Podcast. We're now live on YouTube. We're joined by Tyler Stafford, Dex, and Tej, as always, are on here. That was just a dry run for all of the takes that we're about to get off. We're doing fantastic. Oh my God, I feel so. Okay, so just inside baseball, we recorded a whole basically review of Fantastic Four, and no, that's in the ether now.
Mm-hmm.
Good dry run, guys. Episode 199 of the One Take Podcast. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Jesus, Lord,
it was eaten by Galactus. That's what happened.
It was.
He was so hungry for our takes, he ate it.
That's good podding right there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm baffled by what just happened here.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, very cool and good. Normal thing that Restream did. Told me that it was recording, and then it wasn't. Okay.
Tell them what we're talking about today.
We're talking about the Fantastic Four and Eddington. Like I said before, two very similar movies. A funny joke that I made 30 minutes ago. God, 7 points.
We did found the connective tissue there is that they both do star Pedro Pascal. So
yeah, they do. They both do star. Oh my God. All right. Anyway, 7.5 on IMDb, hour and 55 minutes, forced to balance their roles as heroes with the strength of their family bond. The Fantastic Four must defend the Earth from a ravenous space god called Galactus and his enigmatic herald, the Silver Surfer. Directed by Matt Shackman, written by Josh Friedman, Eric Pearson, Jeff Kaplan. Stars everyone in Hollywood: Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Ebon Moss-Baccarat, Cousin, Joseph Quinn, Ralph Ineson, Julia Garner as the Silver Surfer, and like I said, Natasha Lyonne and Paul Walter Hauser also make an appearance. Also, Sarah Niles, moving from F4 or F1 to F4. So this movie cost $200 million. It made $218 million. Fuck me, I guess. Dex, go again, I guess. What did you think about Fantastic Four? First steps. Has an 87% on Rotten Tomatoes. It was cool.
It was cool. But yeah, I didn't like this movie as much as I wanted to, but I still liked it. Everybody else was, hyping it up and saying the MCU is so back. Whatever. This movie is incredible. A plus, 5 stars. I didn't like it that much, but I did still enjoy it. I think, like we've been talking about, Vanessa Kirby is special, and she, owns this movie. Pedro Pascal, a little overexposed. I can take or leave Pedro Pascal at this point, but not a bad casting overall. I think that the Silver Surfer stuff is all really cool. Galactus is mostly really cool until the end when he's not cool at all. But some of the plot conveniences here, taking the Earth and pushing it somewhere else, are very stupid.
Did you do the SpongeBob meme for that? The first 30 minutes?
We did. I made that joke.
All right, good. I just want to make sure.
Bikini Bottom and push it somewhere else.
Yeah,
that's a good impression.
But yeah, I was watching that and I was like, "What the fuck are we doing, guys? What are we talking about right now?" So yeah, not everything here worked for me, but I liked and also didn't like how stripped down this movie is. You can tell they cut a lot here, trying to make it just as streamlined as possible, which,
they cut Natasha's pretty much whole arc out of this movie. I think it exists, but they literally just stripped it bare.
They stripped it bare. There's a bunch of shit in the trailers that just doesn't happen in the movies.
and people are mad online about it.
You can just tell that they were we're going to cut anything that's not strictly necessary to tell the story is not going to be in this movie, which made it fly by, but also made me maybe feel a little disconnected from some of the characters and some of the dynamics that were at play here. I feel like they could have let it breathe a little bit more. They could have made this movie 2 hours instead of whatever it was, an hour 40, hour 45, and that could have been fine. But overall, I enjoyed it. I'm happy to see the Fantastic Four in the MCU. Excited to see what they do next. But I give it a B. Super solid movie. I think everyone should go watch it. But after Superman just restored the feeling, I can't give this an A plus. It's a tier below that for me.
I mean, speaking of the crossover between this and Eddington, which we'll talk about later, all time just vibes of the houses are cool movies, right? Like both of them, every time they're inside in their house, I'm like, this is nice. I can
would
see
live
myself
there.
living. Yeah, this is a cool pad. I like where these guys are hanging out. I really liked that. I think they even say it in the movie, but they say like, well, maybe they don't say it in the movie, but that it's like retro futurism, which Dua Lipa has already given us a better phrase for that, and it's future nostalgia. So I would argue we should all refer to this as future nostalgia. I'm a big Disney guy as well, like Disney World, Disneyland, and I want them. I think there's already like rumblings of it, but I want Tomorrowland to look like that, like the 60s, but like 2060s. Like it's a cool vibe. I like that. We've talked about it a bunch. Vanessa Kirby rules. She's great and everything. Paul Walter Hauser is another like all time. Oh, this guy's in it. Like he pops up and you're like, all right, here we go. I like this guy. Fun to watch.
He crushed it in his 6 minutes. I thought he really crushed it.
Dumb question. Is the Mole Man thing, is that like a real comic book character? Because I was watching that and I was
from
like,
The Incredibles, right?
I was gonna say, that feels like just the Incredibles bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like just extended
well, The
out.
Incredibles is literally the Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
so it's
true.
like iterating on its own. Like the Fantastic Four existed, and then The Incredibles basically said, we can make this but good. And they did. That's what they did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, that was good. I liked Pedro Pascal's performance. The accent took me a minute to like
he's doing his best like transatlantic.
It's a weird voice choice where you're like, it's hard for him to emote, which is also just the character. Like the character doesn't really have emotions. He's just thinking all the time. I thought that they set up his and Sue Storm's relationship really well at the beginning, like we said, kind of dropping us in the middle and then rewinding to where they've been. I mean, they had an all-time exposition scene at the beginning where they're like, what? But we didn't think this would happen for the last 2 years. Like, we have been trying. How do you feel? Like they had a real exposition scene there. But I thought it was good. I will say one of the coolest parts of the movie, I thought the initial like space travel sequence is up there with like interstellar gravity of like, this looks awesome when they like jump into hyperspace, and even just as they're like getting up to the initial like docking area there, it looked so cool. I mean, I'd be down to just watch a movie of that. So overall, I really enjoyed it. I'm also not a huge like Marvel movie. I mean, I say that I've probably seen like 70% of them, but I'm not following them as closely as others. So, Dex is going B. I said it's a fantastic 4.5 stars. So, thank you. It's even better the second time.
That was great. Tej, do your whole bit again.
Yes. I'm somewhere between Dex and Tyler in terms of my my thoughts on the movie. I did enjoy it. I really enjoyed the first act. I just think the first act is phenomenally well done. The way the exposition is set up, I just think is a very cool way to deliver the exposition. I think you said it first last time, Royden, but I had the same thoughts. I'm going to steal it. I was thinking about the way the exposition is done in A Brave New World, which is a film that stinks. It's two cheeks on the same ass. That's a horrible film. But the way they do the exposition is so overdone because half of the people in the movie have been watching the TV shows, so they know why this person is now Cap, and they don't have to explain that. But the other half, they don't know that, so you have to shove in this stupid exposition at the beginning of Brave New World because only half the people know the story.
They also just do it better, and it feels like it was part of the movie instead of like with Captain America. They're like, oh crap, like that. You could tell that was written in months before the production. A month before the production of the movie started taking place, or maybe even during. They're like, oh crap, people don't know.
People aren't going to know that he's Cap and how this came to be, and who's Magna Cap, who the hell is this guy? So they got to introduce all this stuff. Whereas in this movie, because the Fantastic Four had never been in the MCU, we're all starting from the same place. And I just thought the way they did the exposition with the home footage was so fucking cool. I really enjoyed the first act. When Silver Surfer arrives in this film, it is an extremely cool moment. It's easily my favorite part of the movie. You finally meet our four Fantastic Four. We get to know them, and all of a sudden, Silver Surfer is already coming to Earth to tell the Earth that the Earth has no chance and they're going to be destroyed. Having a herald is just the coolest thing ever. I want a herald. Like I herald Galactus when that was said in the movie theater. I literally got a shiver down my spine.
I herald your beginning. I herald your end.
That shit was so fire, and that is what I go to these movies to do. I go to these movies to hear about I herald Galactus like that. Spitting those bars, I was all the way in. I really loved when you first see Galactus and he's in space and he looks so fucking scary, and you know that he's eating planets. And I'm like, man, this Galactus is about to wreck some fucking shop on Earth. It's about to go fucking crazy. I really enjoy that part of the movie. I really like Vanessa Kirby's performance. I think that she's the kind of the central, she's the central emotional weight of the film, the emotional fulcrum of the film. She does that well. I think Pedro's great, even though obviously we've been seeing him a lot and stuff. I think this character really works for him. But I did have some issues with the movie. Like I just did not buy that Reed Richards was the smartest man in the world by some of his decisions, which we can get into later. I just didn't understand that aspect of the movie. I kind of don't know what I thought of the chemistry between, like, say, Johnny Storm and Reed Richards. But overall, I really liked the family unit. I really liked the way the story was written for the most part. But the third act, where you have Galactus, who comes down from space, where he's the coolest, biggest boss ever. He comes down to space and he's just like a robot walking around downtown New York. Like, that really took away some of the thrill for me. I was just like, oh, he's like as tall as that building, but not as tall as that building. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't seem as scary to me. And then the way that we resolved Galactus coming to Earth, I was just like, Galactus don't seem that scary anymore. But the action looked good in this movie. I thought generally it looked good. I, like Tyler, really enjoyed the space stuff. I really enjoyed the scene where they have something happens on the spaceship that I won't spoil yet. That is a very cool scene, a very cool way to do it. But it was clear they just robbed a couple of Apollo 13 plot points for this point of the movie. And I was like, that's fine. I love Apollo 13. It's a great movie. Let's just rob that shit and put it in our Marvel movie. Overall, I had a good time. I would not say, I think that the biggest thing that they accomplished was didn't have much happiness or much happiness or anticipation for Doomsday. I got some now. And that's what this movie accomplished for me. It was a great job. I wanted Marvel to at least hit a double. I think they hit a triple. I don't think it's up there with the top tier of Marvel movies, but I did really enjoy it. I would give it a B+. I would be at a B+ with my grade. And I think we should go to Monique because she didn't even know she's going to get to talk about Fantastic Four.
Yeah, Monique, the fourth chair of the podcast, usually coming on to talk about Fantastic Four. How we doing?
I'm good. I'm great. So I didn't miss the Fantastic Four cast.
No, well,
we recorded it, but we got 20 minutes in and realized we weren't recorded, so we started over.
It's the first time that's happened, like literally in the history of the podcast, that we were. I was just like recording, and then it said I was recording, and then somebody was on a live stream on another feed, and we were just doing a dry run of the pod for like 20 minutes.
Pod into the abyss.
Mm-hmm.
Just talking shop about Fantastic Four. Anyway, Mo,
Cool.
What do you think?
Cool. Are we like at the very beginning of rating and stuff?
Yeah.
You know how I am about rating. I only do it for y'all, no one else. I really enjoyed this Fantastic Four. It was very heartwarming, and it was very, I use the term stupefying. I know to use that a lot, but I feel like I was in awe, jaw dropped quite a few times. I really appreciated that we're getting a Marvel movie with this amount of depth, specifically from Vanessa Kirby. As the woman on the podcast, I just feel like, hey man, women carried this film. Okay. Like she did what needed to be done. We got some motherhood stuff in it. We got a lot of great familial, like save the world, but it wasn't like, it didn't feel like too campy or too trite. It was very fun. I had a fucking great time. Like I really, really appreciated the storytelling in it. Like just from a filmmaking perspective, I was like, this is how you maintain. We're all so used to Marvel. We're all so used to like what's going to happen, who's going to get saved, who's going to die. And they just didn't really depend on that too much. And they just told a really good story of people coming together. And yeah, the after credit scene was great. Post credit, whatever you want to call it, post credit, mid credits, whatever. That was great too. So yeah, I would give it an A-.
Oh wow.
I loved it. Yeah, me personally. And like it's a hard feat to get me to adore a story about Fantastic Four. I think that was the biggest thing for me. Like, is it one of the best movies ever? Maybe not, but wow, I was like, oh, you have me caring about the Fantastic Four in a really unique way. I appreciate that.
What do you think
Her
of
her
the?
her
Go ahead.
speech at the end was like, when she's trying to convince the crowd outside the headquarters. Yeah, I was wondering how they were going to resolve that tension in a not cheesy way, and I thought her speech was so good. I thought it was really well written, and it was believable that the people would listen to that and be like, yeah, we agree with you, like we're on your side. I thought that was really, really good. She had a great performance.
It's interesting. We talk about like suspending disbelief, right? And it's just always like crazy to talk about when we suspend disbelief in these movies because, like, okay, Galactus is walking through New York.
Yeah.
But like honestly, that speech, Tyler, hi Tyler. I've
Hi.
we watch. Good to meet you. That speech was powerful. I don't know why she brought the baby with her though. That kind
They
of
want to kill that baby, and she just like brings it
Well,
up.
you
good
gotta
luck,
show them,
brother.
You gotta show
All
them
right.
this is not a MacGuffin. This is a real human.
It felt like when NBA players get cooked and then they bring their daughter up to the press conference.
Steph Curry.
Like, yo,
Steph Curry,
Tyler,
Jason Tatum handbook.
Mhm.
okay, like I know Galactus like came through a portal and like went somewhere, but like she can't project her voice that great. Like, does she have a voice projecting power? Because I'm like, that was a big ass audience.
That was a big
Everyone
crowd.
could hear her? No.
Mhm.
They can hear her on TV. In the crowd.
I was like, no, where's her megaphone? I literally turned to Tina. I was like, did they mic her before she went up there?
She can phase shift through matter. You worried about her oratory skills. That's crazy to me. Of course they can hear her, bro. She's a superhero.
I mean, I guess she has to have been projecting because I was like, but the speech itself was great. I was like, because she really, to me, it was like very romantic, and y'all know I love a romance because everything is a romance. It was like she was kind of cooking her man Pedro in front of everyone, but like in a very like galvanizing way. And I was like, I fuck with this. So yeah.
The real superhero was the Fantastic Four, their media relations team. How quickly they could organize press conferences,
right,
and get everybody there and the whole world watching them. I was very impressed as
Get them
as a
live
man.
with audio in Times
Yeah.
Square.
you know what
Way
I'm
to
saying?
go.
Like, London check, Paris check. I'm like, all right, that's really great.
There we go.
Yeah, that's great that we have those types of comms. But to save the planet, you would.
Yeah.
I also liked, we talked about how cheesy the Galactus coming to Earth at the end was. I loved the little miniature shot that you saw for like 4 seconds that clearly was just a miniature and somebody with their hand putting a foot down went like Godzilla mode for a second. But it ruled. I loved the like practical effect of like, yeah, we're going to build a tiny little miniature set with like Hot Wheels cars and stomp on it with a boot. And it's going to look cool.
It was like Godzilla.
It is interesting. It's like, it felt like Boban walking around out there, man. He's just huge. But it is interesting in the way that this relates to maybe even Superman a little bit about like we've had this big long history now with Marvel and like people, the issue being people, the distrust of superheroes and the whole like are these heroes worth having? And that's the whole X-Men plot line, but it's like goes back to the Sokovia thing. It's like, is it worth having policing these heroes and stuff? But on this planet, on this Earth that they've built, it's like there's such a automatic trust of these superheroes that like we haven't seen in these movies, I feel like, in a long time. And that they're like everyone is willing to kind of not bend to the will, but like honestly like trust them that they're going to make the right decision. And there's like a lot of public trust in that, and there's a lot of like utilitarian sort of man helping man, especially in the final act of this movie of like we're all coming together for one common good, which I think is a theme that a lot of directors are trying to put in their movies right now because of stuff going on in the world. But it is interesting that this is a movie, and I mean similar in the way of Superman, where it's like where it's like, oh, we trust these figures. These figures are here to help and save us. And it is interesting that that's what they chose to kind of make this. Basically, what they try to make this movie about is like the trust in humanity and how people can come together and work together. Now it all ends for naught because their plan doesn't, spoiler alert, their plan doesn't really work in the end. The pushing Bikini Bottom somewhere else, like it is ruined pretty quickly. But
I think that's I think that's the connective tissue between Superman and Fantastic Four. I really like that you touched on that because like my favorite parts of both of those movies are when I had to think about what the people think about the heroes. And when this movie is working at its best, I think is when there's that push and pull between what the Fantastic Four want to do and what the people of Earth want them to do when it comes to how they're going to defeat Galactus. And I think that stuff just works really well. Is it a little cheesy to have Vanessa Kirby go out and do a little speech? Yeah, it's a little cheesy. And I don't think the speech was itself that well written. I just think Vanessa Kirby brought some gravitas to it that in different hands might have come off really cheesy, but it just worked in the moment. Kind of because what Kirby, she had already gotten so much equity from the viewer, from me, that she can go up there and do that speech. I can, of two minds, I can think this is kind of corny, but also she is doing a great job here. So it worked perfectly for me.
Yeah, we also like part of it is that we used to actually just treat astronauts that way.
Oh, yeah,
true.
Yeah, like astronauts used to just like have that kind of motion in society.
That's why you have to set this in the past, because that whole first part of the movie doesn't work if it's like present day, because we in the present day don't feel that way about astronauts that they did at that time, where these people were literal national heroes.
Yeah, we could like tell you who they were and what they were going to do and when they were getting back and all that kind of shit. Now it's just like, oh, some people are stuck. Could I name those people or why they're there? No, but there's people up there that are stuck. Like we don't give a fuck about astronauts.
Let's rely on the billionaires to go and get them.
Like, why didn't Elon just go up there and save them? Like, we're just at a different time.
What are you talking about? I could name an astronaut, Katy Perry.
Yeah.
But yeah, like astronauts used to like legitimately be heroes or whatever. So yeah, it makes sense that they sent astronauts into space and they came back with powers and everyone was like, fuck yeah, we still love y'all. Y'all cool now.
Well,
Yeah.
we do like we know astronomers now. Shout out to you.
I don't know if you heard, but TikTok has a new STEM section. That ad pops up on my YouTube every time. I've seen that man talk about the STEM section of TikTok about 100 times.
You watch
Am I the
YouTube with
only
ads, brother?
I'm not made of money.
Then please
all
don't
right?
stop doing that, bro. Don't start. I also am a man of the people. I have ads on my YouTube as well. There are dozens of us, bro.
Listen, if I could afford it, I would do it, but I'm not paying $25 a month to not have ads on my chess videos that I'm watching.
I totally agree. Not with the chess videos.
Are you talking about TikTok? Because I don't participate.
No, but there's a YouTube ad of Neil deGrasse Tyson that's like one of 4 ads that plays on every video.
No,
and he's
oh
just
my
like,
God.
and he's
What
just
is
like,
he paying
there-
for? What is happening?
there's a STEM section of TikTok. That's all I can tell you is that exists.
It is on
And
TikTok.
boy, is he excited about it.
Between
Neil used to be my fave, and then he did like one thing, and you know how so speaking of, Neil did one thing and I was like, you used to be my favorite and now I can't fuck with
We
you.
lost you.
Are we all like
Galactus.
right, Dex? Like I don't remember what it was. I just remember I was like, damn.
It was a lot of things over a long
Okay, I was
period
like,
of time. You're
okay,
probably
good.
correct to not be on his team
Okay.
right now.
And I really like I'm an engineer by trade, so I'm like, man, this is a big deal for me. And but whatever. So I guess I'm the only one on the pod that doesn't love the obsession with like the media in the Superman and Fantastic Four. Maybe I'm like superhero pilled, but I'm like, I don't give a fuck what any of you think. Okay,
Yeah.
superheroes.
Yeah, I'm invincible.
get
Like,
it.
shut up.
yeah, I'm the smartest man in the world. Like, what do I care?
Like,
Can we
how
talk about that part?
You and your freaking family to give a fuck? Like, you're not going to be able to save the world, so shut up. Like,
Mhm.
and just whatever happens, happens. And I'm like, Monique, you would actually be one of these people, so maybe you should care. Like, I
Yeah,
don't.
you would literally be telling like they need to kill that fucking baby. It was about the baby. I think that we've
No, I
gotten
wouldn't.
far enough in that we can spoil a little bit. So one of the plot points of this movie is that Reed Richards and Sue Storm she gets pregnant. So when they go to space, she is pregnant and she actually has the baby on the way to space in a very beautiful scene.
Oh my god,
Beautiful
She has the
scene.
baby.
So
Why
on
are
the
we sending a
spaceship.
pregnant woman to space?
Yeah, that nobody even questioned it either. No one was even like,
because
hey,
Vanessa
wait.
Kirby is that girl, and women can do what they want. We can
Yeah,
do
she's
our
magic.
body-
You're gonna tell her no? Like,
Yeah, we can do.
Who's gonna turn the spaceship
invisible
invisible when they're flying
And
through
join the
asteroids?
spaceship whenever. Yeah, she can just go invisible. Like, what are you gonna say to her?
I'm just
She
saying.
is not just pregnant, but
I'm
she's
not-
like very pregnant. She's about to pop when they go into space.
I'm just
And
saying,
so-
I don't know if cosmic rays are good for the fetus.
Obviously, they
Well,
are good for the fetus.
When your baby's
I think we have
cosmic,
definitive proof. Yes.
are you gonna tell Reed Richards to do his own research? Is that your plan?
Look, all
So-
I'm saying is,
I like what you.
we don't
care
put dyes in food anymore, but we're sending pregnant women to space. Okay.
Just,
I
they
think
go
you
to
should talk
space.
I think you should talk to Andy Byron about that.
No,
They
I
have-
mean, there is a scene where he's like, you'll be the first pregnant woman, like, to do any of this.
Mhm.
And it's like actually beautiful. They're laying there, like, talking about if she should go. I'm just making a joke. But yeah, it is a crazy scene when they go up there and they're fleeing from the Silver Surfer. It's really tension. And in the middle of this, she's having a kid. It's just like,
That's
let's
one of my
up the
favorite
stakes a little bit.
scenes in a movie all year. Just FYI,
It was great.
last few years. Like it was. I don't want to like minimize that scene. That was really impressive. I don't care how Apollo 13 it was in the story. Like it was really great.
You know what else? You know what else ripped was seeing the Silver Surfer get to surf.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
it was
you-
so
Fire.
dope.
Dude,
She
I
I
sucked
would-
on his fire. That shit was so fucking dope.
so cool.
I'm telling you, stupefied. I was like, yo, wow. I was like, wow, I felt like a child. I was like, wow, this is so cool.
They knocked Silver Surfer, the casting, the portrayal, the CGI. They kind of knocked Silver Surfer completely out of the park. I could not have been more happy with the. I think one of the flaws of this movie is that we didn't get enough of the Silver Surfer because of how fucking cool that they made her and how cool she was. Props to them for that. But anyway, so this baby is the center point of the film because Galactus is going to destroy their Earth, which is not the MCU's main Earth that we have been watching this whole time. But the Galactus is going to eat their planet. He eats planets. He has the hunger, and he sees the hunger in the baby, and he wants the baby so the baby can free him from this prison of having to eat planets. Because Galactus he wants to retire. He's done with this. He's like, I don't want to do this anymore. But that baby can sit here, and that baby. So obviously the baby is extremely powerful. So he gives them an ultimatum. He says, I'll spare your planet if you give me your baby. Obviously, the Fantastic Four, who are the parents of this baby and the uncles of this baby, are not fucking with giving up this baby. But the people of Earth, so they get back to Earth. They have not defeated Galactus, but they did narrowly escape him. And so the people of Earth naturally ask them, hey, what happened up there with Galactus? And Reed is like, we didn't defeat Galactus, which I think you have to tell the people, because Galactus is going to come now or destroy our planet, so you got to tell us the truth. But then they ask him, okay, so like, what happened up there? And he tells everyone on TV that he wants the baby, and we told him, fuck no, I'm not giving you the baby. Obviously, that doesn't make sense to me because if you're the smartest man on the planet, how do you think that the people are going to react when you tell them this unknown fucking baby that we've never heard of, that we don't got no context with, if we can just get rid of that baby, snap that baby out of existence, and we can live? Like, what do you think that we're going to say when you tell us that we're still under attack and you want to move as opposed to giving away the baby, you want to move the planet from point A to point B, which is going to fuck up literally everything. It's probably going to destroy the Earth by doing it. And this is the better plan than giving up your fucking baby? That's crazy.
The worst part is he doesn't even have that plan yet. He's just like, I'm just not giving him my baby. He's just
We're
like,
gonna do what we're gonna do, but
They don't even know this. They don't even know this baby. What if it has bad vibes?
what if the baby has bad vibes?
Bad vibes. Like,
But also, like that's
Have
why
we
the
considered?
Augusta speech didn't work for me later because it came after that speech. I was like, that baby should be attacked, like right now. Like
they're gonna find that baby in the streets.
they should be launching that baby into space. Like if they galvanize to like create teleportation devices, they can surely be like, because they showed the little media to show that the people wanted the baby out of there, right? But I was like, that's not enough for me. Like the human should be so whatever, human version, whatever. They should be so adamant about getting that baby the fuck. I wanted 15 more minutes where there's like, we gotta shut the Fantastic Four thing down because like the people are like, get this fucking baby out of here. But
I
Yeah,
agree
but
with
it's
that.
also like,
Touch
what
my
are they gonna do? They're gonna rush the Fantastic Four?
That's
They
what I'm
go-
saying. That's what I'm saying.
They
Like, I
go-
actually don't care. Like, don't even put that in there. Like, who cares?
They
Because
gonna run at the
could do it.
Fantastic Four and be like, "Give me your baby," and like, they're
Right.
gonna, like,
I mean,
snatch it.
they have like guns. I mean, I don't know. Like, they
Super
kind of
powered
made
woman, give me your
no
child.
shade to New Yorkers, but they kind of made y'all look weak. I'm like, y'all didn't really do nothing.
They're
Can
like,
y'all
bitch in here.
can y'all tell me what y'all think of this movie as it relates to the Superman? So I would have the Superman above this movie slightly in terms of quality of the movie. I like them both. I would have the Superman slightly higher. But I don't know what the people are feeling in regards to that. So I feel like we should have that conversation.
I like
shortly.
that you've decided to call it the Superman.
Mhm.
I
Sorry,
think
Superman.
that
You
makes
got the
it funny.
Batman, the Superman. That's
Mhm.
But yeah, I have Superman above this one for sure.
What? Why?
Because it's
I-
better.
It just made me feel like more, I
It's
just
also a full movie.
it made me want to go do good deeds.
Mm.
Like,
Oh, yeah, I did not
I
get
will-
that. Like,
I'm a punk rocker. Yes, I am.
that's
you
what
You seen
real
that?
comfort- what's
You
really
seen that
comfort-
30 Rock joke where they say, "Yeah, I've been doing good," and he comes in and goes, "Superman does good. You do well." That's so hand up. I have a 9-week-old, and so I saw the first 20 minutes of Superman, and then he was crying too much at home. So I got to the end of the
Maybe it was good vibes.
interview scene. I got to see them make out on the kitchen counter, and then I had to get out of there. So
you love that interview scene.
it
Love it.
ruled.
Just love
Yeah, I was like, man, if the whole movie's like this. I also just love Rachel Brosnahan too.
Well, Nick, you are just a hater of this. You are just a hater of Superman. You have become this person, which is crazy to see. But you are just
I
a
have
Superman
not
hater.
I've always been. I'm not into Superman. Like, I love Clark Kent, but I'm
Mm.
not into Superman. Like, I'm like very
That's
much
wild.
So you just
I'm
like
very much
glasses.
into
That's what it
Superman.
is.
You just like glasses.
Clark Kent is very sexy. But I mean, if they're gonna try to sell that they're so different, then I'm into it. Fine. I like Clark
She
Kent.
also loves Omni Man, which is literally Superman. Like this is the same. Omni Man is Superman.
Love Omni Man. Omni Man has a little bit more soul in him. Okay, he's an Italian man.
He's
okay?
literally soulless.
He's an Italian.
No, he has.
He
some
told his wife that she was like a pet, and you're like, yeah, Omni Man.
He literally did.
We are not the sum of our worst mistakes. Okay,
Oh God.
all deserve grace. We all get-
Galactus had some really good points.
Mhm.
You need
people
that
on
as a
both
bar.
sides.
I'm using
Honestly,
that.
I don't get Galactus, so that's shocking that I like Fantastic Four more. It just was more heartwarming to me. Like, Superman was just, oh, this guy is struggling with. I was like, fine. It was good. I had a great time. Like, I'm just comparing it to Fantastic Four. No way. Fantastic Four was so much more fun, so much more hilarious. I was dying laughing during Fantastic Four. It was great. I had a great time.
We haven't talked about Herbie either, and Herbie was the best character in the movie. Herbie is fucking
Yes.
fantastic. I loved Herbie. I mean, it was amazing how they rendered him. I really like that.
To the Bear fans, Cousin was great. Like, I had a great. Vanessa Kirby is like I wasn't a huge Vanessa Kirby fan for this. I know it's almost
that's
That's
flat.
because you haven't been watching Mission Impossible films. She's been over there looking good and going crazy over there.
Mhm.
She's her. Like,
Stabbing
awesome.
people.
she's
been literally stabbing people in the neck. Like that shit is fire.
really good. She's
I don't know
really
if she like
super
went
fun.
through something giving birth to her own kids or what, but like if they make her pregnant in a movie, she's gonna kill that shit every time. Pieces of a Woman, she went crazy.
Oh, like this is a very like pro woman movie. I have to go Fantastic Four. Superman is very pro man, which is probably why y'all like it more. Whatever, two
Well,
men.
it's in the title, so
Yeah, we'll get Supergirl eventually. You know what I'm saying? We'll get her around to it.
Woman,
Hey,
thank you.
Dudes rock, and we need dudes rock cinema. Okay,
Actually-
we need to be represented here.
Man should be called Superboy.
Mm.
That is the thing that I will say. But no, like I feel like Superman was just two dudes being bros, you know? Like two
Yeah.
guys being bros, and they're like, fuck, like who's better? And like we're just like watching it. We're just
yeah,
spectators.
those are my favorite movies. I agree.
Yeah, I know, like men love that. But Fantastic Four was like family, motherhood, women are powerful. So yeah.
Hmm.
Clark and
Yeah.
Lois are clearly people that have actually had sex. Even though they had a baby, I don't know if Sue and Reed have ever had sex.
There's a
I didn't feel
little
it.
there's a
I
little
didn't feel it.
Jesus Christ complex with this baby. They're just kind of like we've been trying, and then all of a sudden they're pregnant, and it kind of appears, and he's bringing people back from the dead.
Mhm.
He
Yeah,
literally we're
it
bringing
feels
his mom
like-
back from the dead.
It feels like
love-
sex for them is more of like an intellectual exercise. You know what I'm
Thank
saying? Like they're just trying to.
I mean, how
Guys.
has the world's smartest scientist not tried IVF yet? You would have thought he would have gotten into that at some point. So yeah, I'm with you.
The reproductive
I
laws
loved
are still the same no matter what Earth that we're living in.
If y'all don't understand how fucking sexy Pedro Pascal is, you can just say that. All right.
Yeah, but I'm sure that he's very sexy. But I did not feel like him and Vanessa Kirby had at any point seen each other naked. I felt that a lot with Corn Sweat and Brosnan. I felt their chemistry on the screen. I did not.
I don't
feel
know. Have you seen
a
these
level of
press
chemistry
junkets?
for them.
Yeah.
Have you
I
seen
did
these
not.
press junkets with
I have seen these videos of her touching him a lot when he gets anxious, but I think that Pedro kind of, and I'm not speaking about Pedro Pascal's sexuality, I don't know it, but it kind of gives me gay bestie vibes between the two of them. It doesn't give me that for Corn Sweat and Brosnan. And it feels like, no, these people really figured it out on some back lot. They really figured out the real chemistry between the two of these people.
The only time that it ever felt.
I'm
The only
so
time it
shocked.
ever felt like Vanessa Kirby and Pedro Pascal had sex in this movie is when they were like telling her brother that she was pregnant, and it was like you could see the gears turning in his head, like, oh, that's gross. But like other than that, like there was like no sexual tension
Wholeheartedly
between.
disagree with all of this. Very
There's no
problematic.
sexual tension between the two.
Very
They had
problematic.
chemistry. They had chemistry as two people on screen, but there was no sexual chemistry between Pedro and
He's just
and-
a really
and
sexy,
Vanessa.
nerdy doctor, and he's the
Mhm.
smartest man in the world. And yeah, he be fucking like.
we
Is he
found
the
out.
smartest man in the world though? Because it's not giving smartest man in the world from this film. It's
Well,
not
sometimes
giving that.
when you're in love, you know, you make a little silly decisions. It's okay. None of us are above it.
Hey man, Johnny Storm might be the smartest man in the world because he heard 3 words and was like, I can speak this whole language now.
Mhm.
And he
Facts.
saved the
Oh.
planet.
He really
Those
was.
records they had.
Movie.
What a cool
Those
way
records
to
look
listen.
so fucking cool.
I got mine up here behind
Yeah.
me.
He
I was
the
like, oh,
star of
I'm
this
in.
story.
That gold record was so fire looking. I was like, this is cool.
They
Also,
did a really
the way that they portray him flying too, especially the first time when he takes off to go find like the Silver Surfer and they're following him with the camera and stuff like that. The camera movement on that was really good. I think the practicality of this movie, a lot of this was based in New York City in real places. Thank you for doing that in this and the Thunderbolts. We love a real place.
Facts.
We don't love what's his face from Captain America Civil War standing on a green screen in Bangladesh somewhere because they had to fit him into the movie. But the idea behind this and Superman too, it was like real sets, real places. Of course, it gets a little wonky when they go to space or when they go into the nether dimension and the Proton River and stuff like that. But it's a superhero movie. But the best stuff in this movie is it feels like a lot of this is tactile, and we talk about that a lot.
I agree.
Bringing this back for this movie and for Thunderbolt. So it's like, oh, they're really in the desert. They're really out here doing stuff and wrecking cars and blowing stuff up. And I felt like a lot of this movie was that. I mean, the middle act when they're in space, obviously, no. But, a lot of it, just the New York stuff and the retro futurism and the set design, it's like A++ from a lot of that stuff. So I thought.
What did y'all think of Shackman, the previously directed WandaVision, who directed this film? What did y'all think of him in terms of what he was able to put on screen?
Like I said, I think he has some sauce. Like I don't know if he's done. Is this his first feature?
I
Can't
think
be,
so.
right?
Maybe not. No, it doesn't seem. No, it's not. It is not.
But he did a lot of. He did 2 episodes of Game of Thrones. He did like The Great. He did 43 episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh,
He
That's
made something
unbelievable.
called Meet the Hollowheads. I've never seen it, but he made it.
Is he a co-writer or anything?
No, I don't think so.
He just directed it. Well, it's
Yeah.
not. It's,
He's mostly been a TV director. I'm not seeing a lot of feature films from this guy. So that being said, like they've done this before, where they've taken the workman-like TV directors and propelled them. In fact, they've mostly done this.
This is his second movie. He made something called Cut Bank, which I don't know what that is, but so this is his second feature film.
Yeah. So no, I think he has the sauce. I think he's really good at this specific thing. I think he understands what it needs to be. What I wanted to say, sorry, Monique. What I wanted to say real quick though, and Dex, you touched on it, is that yeah, this feels like Feige got his hands on this a little bit, because it's like you can tell that Shackman had a lot of other stuff, or I don't know if it's Shackman or Shockman, but like he had a lot of other stuff that they wanted to put in this movie, and it's all in the marketing material and stuff, and they just cut the shit out of it. They just were like they had to have cut this thing down by at least 30 minutes, it feels like. But yeah, anyway.
At least, because there's stuff that's all in the trailers, and like entire other actors who like are in the trailer that just don't show up at all in the movie. But I mean, it works and it
wasn't
doesn't.
John Malkovich supposed to be in this movie?
Yeah, he's just not. He just isn't. And like, you know, that makes the movie go faster. It makes it like feel like a breeze or whatever. But also, it's like we could have let it breathe a little bit. We could have, you know, like lived in this world a little bit longer before
it feels like we were missing a Natasha scene or two. Like it feels like those got cut and that storyline didn't really go anywhere. Maybe we're just starting the buds of something romantic between her and Big Grim, but I would have liked that to be fleshed out just a little bit more, because at the stakes of this movie are their world's going to end, which probably means that they're going to die. And so I knew that they were not going to die, but if they did die, then that storyline dies. So I just thought it was weird that we didn't explore that at least a little bit, because Big Grim at that time is obviously thinking there's a chance I could die. So I thought he would at least make his feelings known, which I guess he did in a way, but it didn't really feel like there was a scene missing.
Monique, you had a couple points, and then we'll move on to Eddington.
My first question was just mostly rhetorical. I don't understand how big Galactus is, because he looked way bigger when they went
real
to visit
big
than when he landed in the lake in the ocean.
The biggest, the largest.
Yeah, once he started standing next to buildings, I was like, wait, how big is Galactus? I thought he was like bigger than our planet, and then now he's like the same height as this building. I
did like, you know what I mean? I was like, and then he landed in the water, guys. Like, how deep? Now I want to know how deep the water is, because like if he could stand in the water, he's pretty fucking big. I feel like
they had a magic space baby. Maybe he just shifts a little. Who knows?
I was gonna say, I know this is spending differently, and then secondly, I think we were just also horny for Silver Surfer. Maybe it was just me and Johnny. But like there were other things flying into the planet. Were those just fireballs? Did y'all not see that there were other things that seemingly were flying in?
Oh yeah.
Never really.
Those were the fireworks for the heralding.
Okay, those were the like show performance. I didn't know it was July 4th. Like I was like, weren't there? Because you know, usually when you get the Ebony Maw, you get a few other people or a few other like space creatures. So I thought that was that, but they never showed up. So I guess they just sent in some fireballs with her for a show, and then they just landed and killed whoever they landed. You know, I was like, I thought those were things. So
yeah, somebody in Brooklyn has a hole in their roof, and they just haven't addressed it.
Yeah.
But just real quick before we move on to Eddington, the ending of this movie, like we said, the third is like a little wonky. They just push him into the nether region basically, and then Vanessa Kirby, who like it's a really powerful thing. Like she like force ghost pushes her way to that, but uses all of her energy and dies. And Dex, you always have a problem with this, but they put Magic Jesus baby on her chest, because as you do, you put babies on to dead people. And anyway,
Pascal's like, hey, just touch your mother one last time.
Yeah,
I guess
he brings her like he brings her back, because obviously he's like the most powerful being in the world, but or in the entire universe, which how they're going to continue to power scale this guy, because obviously they're going to use Franklin what's their last name?
Richards.
Yeah, Franklin Richards, the rest of the MCU, it seems like, however long we go with this. But what did we think about the ending?
Yeah, it was weird. I didn't like it. But, you know, whatever. I guess you got to get rid of the big giant monster thing somehow. Whatever.
We didn't even mention the post credit, but we probably should.
I did.
Oh. Roy, we can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. They this is going great for me today, guys. So they couldn't, they couldn't pay RDJ any more money to be bothered to show up on set.
Nope. He was like, I don't want to be
definitely was
involved.
not him.
He was
Sorry, I will
like,
not be there.
yeah, y'all good. Y'all paid me for Doomsday, and that's what I would show up for.
Yeah, you were paying me $700 million plus points to show up for Doomsday. Anyway, so yeah, Fantastic Four all around. I don't even know if I gave it a grade. I'd B plus for me too. But let's talk about the real cinema here, guys. What we all wanted to come on and talk about.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Aster, my favorite.
My
We're
fave.
We're
My
talking
favorite
about
as well.
We're talking about Eddington. Rated R movie, 2025, 2 hours, 28 minutes. Speaking of longer films, but 7.1 on IMDb. I think the consensus is that people like this actually more than critics, which is saying something. But in May of 2020, a standoff between a small town sheriff and mayor sparks a powder keg as neighbor is pitted against neighbor in Eddington, New Mexico. Written, directed by Ari Aster. Again, stars everybody in Hollywood. Joaquin Phoenix back collaborating with Ari Aster again after Beau is Afraid. Deirdre O'Connell stars as his mother-in-law, Dawn. Emma Stone as his wife, Louise Cross. Michael Ward, Cameron Mann. Pedro Pascal, again, getting those checks, brother. Luke Grimes, Austin Butler, and a cast of other people that you may have heard of. But it did not make any money.
Stunning.
$25 million budget. It has made $8 million worldwide. Ooh.
Really?
Yeah, Ari, man. They also didn't like super roll this out wide. A24 release. They kind of start small and then we'll build it up especially if it gets good word of mouth. But it came out to middling reviews, 68% on Rotten Tomatoes, 63% audience score. So it's interesting to see the difference between IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. But Tyler, we'll start with you. What did you think about Eddington? You wanted to come on specifically to talk about this.
I mean, I loved it. I thought it was a really good movie. I say I loved it. Much like most of Ari Aster's movie, I thought it was great. I hated every second of watching it. I hated everyone on screen. I hated every character. I was uncomfortable the entire time. I didn't know who to root for. But it was great.
Yay, Ari Aster!
Yeah, like that's what he's going. He does that very well. Emma Stone had a weird part in it, which I felt she was underused. Couldn't tell you one thing that Austin Butler was talking about, but I do know that I would join his cult and drive off in his RV if he pulled up in my driveway. I'm in for hanging out with him. But to me, I mean, there were parts of it that so my day job, I sell education software, and I primarily am in like rural school districts. I'm talking like 200 kids, K-12, like tiny little. That movie felt closer to a documentary in some points that I would like to admit. There were parts of it where I'm like, I've met these people before. This is intense, but I thought it looked great. Like we talked about earlier, I want to live in every one of those houses. I thought that was a lot of fun. I did not expect it to get so action heavy at the end. And I thought that sequence at the end where he's like running away and running through the town was just thrilling. There was one shot in particular at the end where he's out of breath and he's like looking over his shoulder and the camera kind of pans 360 and you're like getting focus behind him. And, I was nervous. What's going to jump out at me? I thought it was really well done. Good movie. People should see Eddington. I thought it was a good movie. I can't believe it has. I mean, I'm not surprised that it didn't make a lot of money, but go see that movie. It was good.
What would you give it on a A to F scale?
I gave it 4 stars on Letterboxd. My review was good movie. Hated every second of it. Loved how cool the houses looked. Humanity might be doomed. Joaquin Phoenix was awesome. The internet was a mistake. So
Yeah.
I think that sums it up well.
And I think you have the exact same feelings as Ari Aster about all of this.
Yeah.
Mo, what did you think of Eddington?
Love. One thing about Ari Aster, if he puts out a movie, I'm gonna watch it. Okay. I had no idea what Eddington was about. It was definitely giving 3 billboards and what is it?
Outside of Eddington, Missouri.
Yeah.
Whatever. It was definitely giving that. As soon as like I figured out, I was like, oh, this is like really slow pace. But I love 3 Billboards. I love that movie too. And so I just had a really fucking good time. Tyler, I like what you said. Like I hated everyone. Everyone made me uncomfortable. But that's what filmmaking is. Like you have to make me feel something. Like I have to be invested. It doesn't mean I have to be invested in your triumph, but I was really invested of the downfall of everyone in this movie. I was like, yeah, everyone should fail. Everyone die. I can't wait till we get to the 3rd act of an Ari Aster movie where there's complete fucking chaos and people just start dying and falling in crazy place. Like I got exactly what I wanted. I loved it. A+. I'm having a great time. Like that movie made me realize like there's nothing like from Sinners to like this are completely different films. And I'm like, but I enjoyed them in the same way so much. I was like, wow, this like summer movies are back, man. Like I love this. I had a great time. Ari Aster is officially one of my favorite storytellers, if not my favorite storyteller. He's too fucking good at what he does. Joaquin and Pedro Pascal are the duo that I didn't know I needed.
Mm-hmm.
They have a cat fight.
Like that's you know what I'm saying? Like it's 2 dudes being bros, but like the way that Ari Aster does this, there's like no one who can fucking do what he does. And I agree, like everyone needs to watch this movie. I don't get it. I don't know why. Like, watch
people hated Beau is Afraid. That's what it was. Like,
oh my
Beau is
God.
Afraid.
Beau is Afraid is poop from a butt. Like,
Most of you who are fans of Ari just said, I hated every second of this film. And did you say, why are people not
watching
seeing this
this?
film?
I
I don't know what you want from me. That's a correct review.
A COVID passive aggressive movie in 2025. People really want to see it.
Is so good. I was cackling the entire time. Like, I'm a huge Black comedy girl. I'm not even a huge Western girl, but I'm a huge Black comedy girl. I love a Black comedy, neo-noir, whatever you want to call it. I love Brick back in like 2006. Like I love a Black comedy that's well done. I think it's a feat to be able to be like this satirical, but like on point, but like not really make any judgments on like what's going on, but just like show how kind of stupid everyone is. Like I think that's a really tough thing to do. And Ari just fucking cooked, man. I was like, I'm watching a movie about 2 guys being bros in a city I don't give a fuck about, and it's mostly white people. And I'm like, I'm locked in. Tell me everything. Like, I want to know how this guy, you know, survives this, and he doesn't, which is great. Well, he does.
To me, I think
A+.
It was such a good representation of what it felt like to be on the internet in 2020, like to bring it to life. Like there's so many movies and TV shows that will attempt to show something happening on a screen and you just lose it. Like they're looking at text or they're looking at something and you're like, I don't care about this.
Fantastic Four and Superman. Like I was like, I really don't care. Like,
every time that kid would pull up his phone and give the like perfunctory like to like a Black Lives Matter tweet from his crush. Yep. I was like, oh, this is good. Like
good, man. Like the Black Tuesday, remember Blackout Tuesday? So like just a quick reference. It's just so good. Like,
and I mean, speaking of astronaut Katy Perry, what a needle drop in that scene where they have their cat fight.
Bringing it all the way back.
There's another crossover.
Ari Aster loves to try and ruin a pop song that I love. He did it in Beau is Afraid.
That's one of my favorite things about Ari. I love that he does that. I love that he does that.
Ari says everything that needs to be said without saying anything at all. It's like whatever you take. I fucking love it. I loved Beau is Afraid though.
Jack,
see, that's my problem though.
Here we go.
That's my problem though.
You didn't like Beau is Afraid?
Beau is Afraid is ass, absolute ass. I have never hated a movie more. Like
you did?
It felt like a movie that hated me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like people ask the question. I saw someone on Twitter ask the question, like, what's a movie that feels like a hate letter to cinema? And Beau is Afraid feels like a hate letter to cinema. It feels like he knows that you came to watch a movie, but he wants you to feel bad about that. And so he like was like, fuck you. You're not getting a movie. I'm just gonna do some bullshit real quick. But we're
honestly,
not.
yeah, like it was kind of fire though. Like honestly, he might have been like, "Fuck y'all and y'all's movies," but it was pretty good.
All that movie is mommy wouldn't let me nut, and I hated it.
It's so bad.
That's also a subplot in Eddington.
It's also the opposite of Superman, where his dad is giving him instructions.
Yeah.
on how to do that.
Fuck
Yeah.
everybody.
On Eddington, the thing you said about Ari Aster saying everything without saying anything at all, that's my problem. Is that he doesn't actually say anything at all. It feels like
You.
It feels like Ari Aster was sitting around and he was like, you know what was weird? COVID. And so he just started like recreating a bunch of things that he saw during COVID, but like for no real reason. Like he doesn't have anything to say about any of those things that he saw during COVID. He's just recreating them on screen and like very accurately, very like, you know, tapped into what was going on during COVID. You know, he like covers all angles of it. It's just like, I need you. There's no thesis statement here. You know, he's just like,
we need a thesis statement.
I need the director to say something. Like
I push back on that a little bit
No.
because I find that this movie more than like say something like Civil War, even which had kind of been compared in this like tackling of a bigger subject of where we are in our political climate, is that like I think what he kind of did here was more so make this movie, and I'm stealing this point, so don't credit me for it. He's putting a mirror up to what happened in 2020, and it's like, hey, wasn't that weird? Like in like how we
I think that
how
he
we
has a ton to
evolved
say in this movie.
collectively dealt
dealt.
how we all have collectively dealt with that has been wrong and bad. And
I
think
feel
that-
like he doesn't say any of it is wrong and bad. He's just like,
Yeah,
hey,
I
look,
agree.
this is what y'all did during 2020.
He's
It's like, I know what happened in 2020. I was there. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know how I feel about it. I know, like, I've done all this analysis on my own. If you're not going to say anything like new or interesting about it, you're just going to recap what happened. That's valueless to me. And it felt like he like really was just like, hey, this is what happened in 2020. Wasn't that weird? It's like, yes, we know. I need a 3-hour movie to tell me what happened in 2020. It just happened. Like we just did this. You know?
I think I hear what you're saying, but I think the thesis of the movie was the dangers of having all of the internet pumped into your brain at once and how you can bubble yourself, right? Like again, every time they looked on their phone, Joaquin Phoenix is scrolling Uncle Facebook, right? Like he's getting all the posts of, you know, all the bad things that you can get on Facebook. And then you got, you know, the woke teenagers who are also doing the same thing, but they're all living in these bubbles and not interacting with each other. And it's stuff that is like, until the end of the movie, not even remotely relevant to where they are at in their life. And I thought it did a really good job of showing like, you know, hey, you can disagree with things, but also like be conscious of like how you're getting information and how that's affecting you mentally and emotionally. And yeah, I thought it was really good. You're crazy.
I think Dex is right about everything, except everything he said is exactly why I fucking loved it. Like you hated it, and I was like, yes. All this movie was like looking in a time capsule and being like, wow, y'all were really fucking dumb. Like all of you, everyone was really dumb. Like from the political people in power, from the people that thought that they were going against political people in power, from the people that were fighting on the internet, for the people that were fighting in their hometowns, for the people that thought they were doing something on social media. All of us were like kind of dumb. Like everyone, like not like that's what he was saying. He was saying nothing with that. Like he was like everything was kind of this is what y'all look like.
The internet
like,
is a mistake, and we haven't recovered from it. We never
Mhm.
will.
I don't even think it was that much about like I hear y'all, you're not wrong, but I don't think he made a real comment about the internet either, because he was more so saying how we like also participate in our communities, independent of the internet or not. Like, what are you actually doing? Like, internet or not, what are you actually fucking doing? Are you actually making a difference? That's why I don't think he said anything, because he was like, I'm also not going to be able to convince Dex that maybe he looked at the 2020 wrong. Dex is going to stand on his business no matter what I say about his experience in 2020 as a black man. You're like, I don't fucking know. Where were you during 2020? What city were you in? Like, none of us were in Eddington, Missouri, or Eddington, New Mexico, excuse me. So, like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I especially if you're gonna make movies about like, I mean, obviously it's not current, it's not still happening, it's 5 years ago, but like events that we all lived through and saw, it's like I need you to add something to the conversation other than like, hey, look, y'all are all stupid.
He
Like, you
added
know what I'm saying?
sniper rifles. What are you talking about? He added lots.
I think
You
he
know what
also
this movie
said
felt
that
like? This movie felt
AI
like when there's like
is bad.
breaking news or whatever, and there's those people on Twitter who are like, I'm sure everyone's gonna be super normal about this. It's like, all right, Brad, like shut the fuck up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's
I
nothing.
mean, the solid gold Magikarp was a very clear statement.
Oh, I loved that the nebulous AI monster that was coming to
Like,
their
come
town
on,
was
that was a
named
very
after a
clear
Pokemon.
I saw that when it first popped up, and I was like, he cannot have been doing. He cannot be doing that, right?
Wait till Eddington 2 when it's Gyarados Center.
Yes.
You know?
Tyler,
Two
I,
adding 2 times.
you are my favorite type.
I
I
think
was like, we all know this is Pokemon, right? I'm not even gonna say it.
But yeah, I did enjoy it, like hanging out with Pedro Pascal and Joaquin Phoenix for a little bit. And the end of the movie, like it was real weird. I was like, this is I don't know how we got here, but like whatever. I'm having a good time. The camera's like twisted and turning and shit. This is fun. Good.
Like a video game.
So yeah, like I didn't hate this movie nearly as much as I hated Beau is Afraid. I'd still give this movie like probably like a B minus. Like, you know, I didn't like completely hate it, but I'm like, Ari Aster, I need you to lock in. I need you to say something if we're gonna call you this genius.
Should have called it No Country for White Men, and it would have done a lot better.
I saw somebody call it No Country for Woke Men, and I
Okay, that's good too.
That's funny.
I loved it.
Brendan Hodges on Twitter coined that phrase.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, Tej, what do you think, man?
I am obsessed with the work of Ari Aster. I greatly enjoy his films. After I watched Eddington, I went back and on Friday night I stayed in and I watched
Something
Hereditary. I watched Hereditary and the director's cut of Midsommar back to back.
Oh my god!
And he's singular, like Monique said. Like what he does, only he could do. And I just love that level of creative control. I love that level of vision. I don't like every decision that he makes. I like Beau is Afraid, but the last act of Beau is Afraid is some of the weirdest shit that I've ever seen. Derogatory. That's not a positive statement. But I just generally like his movies. And it's funny. I watched this with Monique, and literally because we both know his movies so well, literally she turned to me. Probably in the middle of the second act is like, oh, like we all know we're ending in great violence. Like that is Ari Aster, right? His protagonist is going to go into these tribulations, and that is finally going to arrive at that person's door in the third act. That is how his movies work. The actual
takes from Quentin Tarantino in that way. It's like a
100%. Like every Tarantino movie, like there's going to be the reckoning. The third act is going to be a violent reckoning, which is why Once Upon a Time in Hollywood works so well, because he kind of flips that. It's still violent, but it's not violent the way that you expected, right? But we expect Ari Aster movie, there's going to be some violence. So once you get to that the end of that second act into your third act, bodies start dropping. And I think it's such a cool. The first two acts are so cool because going from, you're watching these two guys and you probably already have decided who you agree with based on whoever you felt like you agreed with in 2020. And it was clear that he was making fun. To me, what makes the movie work is that he is kind of showing you the seedy underbelly of both sides of whatever argument that you see on screen. And there are plenty of different arguments on screen, right? He's kind of showing you like none of these are perfect people. Some of these people aren't living their raps. These woke people are just as bad as these hicks in the way that they're thinking, but also look at how crazy this person's algorithm is. Look at the crazy shit they're listening to. We're listening to numerology talking about how COVID came because there was the 56. Like this shit is crazy. So
by the way, I think that a lot of like liberal elite East Coast critics didn't like this movie either because it kind of pointed at them too, and they were like, "Fuck that!"
They came in expecting we're gonna shit on all these COVID deniers and all these, but it's like no, it's actually everybody's kind of gonna get a little dirty in this movie. And if they've ever seen an Ari Aster movie, they're not gonna go into the Ari Aster movie feeling good about anyone or any situation. It does not exist, right? So you go into this movie, and first of all, I just love that he keeps casting. Joaquin Phoenix is like this kind of beta, down on his luck, meek, I just think that he works so well in that space. He's just so good at that. And even the parts of Bo Was Afraid that don't work for me, what Joaquin is doing is making the movie make sense to me in my brain. His performance is quite literally taking what the fuck is happening to. I get the energy because I understand this guy's energy. Very similar energy for this character. He's down on his luck. He's self-serious. No one really takes him seriously. No one really believes in him. No one's really behind him. He's not a great man. He quite literally lives in a house with his mother who's staying with him during COVID, which I'm sure triggered a bunch of people who had to live in mixed families during COVID. His mother-in-law is in the house and is literally
doing
a
QAnon
monument.
shit. Like,
And just a totally normal person too.
His mother-in-law is a complete kook, and he's living under a literal monument of the guy who was the previous sheriff, who happens to be his lover's dad. And it's just like, that's so cool because they already positioned him as this guy's down on his luck. He just really wants to be heard. He's a white man who feels like he's being silenced, and that is his whole thing. And so then he takes up this cause, and all of a sudden things start spinning out of control. And for the first act, you might feel like I don't agree with him, but I feel almost bad for him. But then what Ari does with the character, you realize you have to sit in the seat with him through the film, but you realize quickly, oh, this guy is a piece of shit. But also the Pedro character is also a piece of shit, even though he has a complete political difference on this particular issue. He's also a piece of shit in his own way. The way he talks to his kid, whatever he did with the Joaquin Phoenix's character's wife, we don't know. We don't think that it was rape, but it could have been.
And his wife that randomly disappeared.
And his wife that randomly disappeared. So we're already painting these two guys in the middle of our movie. It's like, these guys aren't great. His wife is going through a lot, and she's like, I really need you to protect me in this moment, as opposed to trying to protect her. He's just literally out for himself. So like, he just does a really good job of kind of showing you. But this person we know is going to have their reckoning. And once Ari makes that decision that he's going to break bad, so to speak, we know his reckoning is coming. In the theater, and I've talked to Monique a lot about this, and I've thought about this now, rewatching his first two films. The form of his reckoning I took as literal, which is Antifa came to town and started fucking shit up. That's not quite what happened, though. I think it's people have pointed out to me that because we see the scene of the quote unquote Antifa on this private jet, well, they're not funded in that way. So these are like crisis actors, but these are really just cultists, and kind of every Ari Aster movie boils down to cultists. Hereditary is quite literally about a cult that's happening around his family. Quite literally a cult. And in the third act, it's revealed to you that this is all a cult, right? And Midsommar, you know it's a cult. And actually, the characters in the movie are being told the whole time, this is a cult, and there's 9,000 red flags that are beeping, but they still
don't put it in the newspaper that we're a cult.
And so this is something that he has an obsession over. What happens when quote unquote regular people become enraptured into what cultists want to happen to them? And in that way, it makes perfect sense that we have our third act the way that we did. However, let's say I respond more to the graphic, nasty, violent nature of the first two films and how the violence is depicted versus this. This violence is depicted in a very cool way, but in a very traditional way in terms of the way that movies are made. We've seen a lot of shootouts to end the third acts of movies. We've seen a ton of that. Somebody just mentioned Warfare, or you mentioned Civil War. I can also talk about Warfare. We're doing cool shit with the camera, but really we're in a first-person shooter. We're doing John Wick. We're doing cool shit with the camera. But I'm like, I would much rather see somebody's body like violently ripped open and put up on display than I would want to see a shootout. From an Ari Aster movie. But I can also acknowledge that Ari is doing a great job in staging this third act. I didn't know that Ari could do that. I know that this movie is technically a Western, but I did not know that Ari could do that. He's never quite done that before. So seeing him attempt that artistically, it was blowing my mind, because I was like, this is an Ari Aster movie, but we have snipers and we have fucking machine guns. Like, this is crazy. I could never have imagined Ari Aster having to want to stage something like that. I'm glad that he did. I really enjoyed it, and I had to frame this third act in terms of his other third acts. Obviously, this is a little different than a major penis monster in the attic that's attacking him. But I enjoyed Eddington, man. I would have to give it. I think I would give it an A- right now. It could go up. I wish that we had more to do for one of the best actresses in Hollywood. She didn't have a lot to do, but that would really be my only major gripe that I still have. I just don't think you can have Emma Stone on your movie set and not use her to her fullest abilities, because she's one of the most interesting actresses in Hollywood right now and one of the most interesting actors that we've ever seen. And she picks the coolest possible fucking shit. So you could tell that she had a love for this because of what her role was, because she just wanted to be in a cool fucking movie. And I think Eddington is a cool fucking movie that a lot of people would hate. Like, they would not enjoy the process of watching it, but I think they would come away saying it was a good movie. I really enjoyed it. I think it's a better movie than Beau is Afraid overall, even though I am a Beau is Afraid truther. I liked Eddington a lot. Not as much as Monique, but I liked it a lot.
I think Joaquin Phoenix is going to be named amongst the greats, like Denzel and Brad. Sorry. Like, he got one more movie. He's too good. Like, I'm not going to understate that. Like, Joaquin Phoenix is him. Mm-hmm. And Ari is like a lot of the reason why I've been able to see that. Like, he's good.
Him having COVID and having to be meek in that way, like as he's Breaking Bad, but now he's got like literal COVID symptoms. Yeah. I'm like, there are so many people that you could put in that spot that part of it wouldn't interest them. That part of them just wouldn't be a major focus of their performance, and he's crushing that stuff. And that's not even the hard stuff that he's doing on screen at any given time. He's phenomenal. He's literally phenomenal.
Yeah, this is shot by Darius Kanji, by the way, who is the first time he's worked with Ari Aster. But if you don't know that name, he's the cinematographer for like Uncut Gems and Seven. He was most recently the cinematographer for Mickey 17 and Bong Joon-ho. So he's one of the most. He's a 2-time Oscar nominee. He's one of the most celebrated cinematographers in the game. And this movie just looks great too. On top of the way that he shoots New Mexico.
There's some very cool shots in this movie, by the way. In every Ari Aster movie, there's some really cool shots in this movie.
We open meeting Joaquin Phoenix as like what is he, the sheriff, or he's a sheriff. And then he becomes the mayor. I guess it's a whole movie.
No, he doesn't. Well, I guess he does become the mayor. He does.
He does, and which is cool because like I think that's why Ari Aster is saying nothing without saying everything, or by saying everything, because at the end, what was going to happen when Pedro Pascal's character was mayor happened anyways. Like, solid gold Magikarp still got built. He died, but like what happened to the city, nothing changed. Like, it still got fucked up by Antifa. You know, people still struggled, and the AI tech billionaire bullshit was still built. Like, everything was the same, you know? And then the sheriff that wanted to become a mayor just was like, became a vegetable. Is that like inappropriate? Is that like inappropriate to say? Or vegetative? Is that like problematic?
That's a good question. I think, yeah. Probably.
Honestly, couldn't tell you. No idea.
But yeah, I don't know. Okay, a vegetative state. Okay.
Yeah.
But
there was one vegetable we saw. That's for sure. As
he's known to do in these movies.
He does. But like, there's the scene, guys, when we meet Joaquin for real, like in the beginning, and the sirens, the red sirens go to like red and then shadow as he's speaking. And it's a brilliant fucking scene. And it's just him talking to the cops. And like, I had no idea what the movie was about at that point, but I just thought that was a brilliant way to introduce a character with that kind of dialogue. And so as he's talking, the screen goes black for like a few frames per second because the sirens are going around. I was just like, that's fucking brilliant. That's the type of shit I like. So shout out to Dan for that.
I really like the scene where he announces that he's going to run for mayor because of this difference that he has with the current mayor, who's Pedro Pascal. And he announces this on IG Live before he talks to his wife. His wife doesn't want this because his wife doesn't want people and their business
doesn't want to be perceived.
Shit that got going on. Doesn't want to be perceived at all. And so she won't talk to him. And the mom is in the house, and he's got to go around back to talk to her while she's laying in the bed. So we see him framed in the window, and she's laying in the bed, and he's talking to her. But then you can see him in the frame, and you can see his wife in the frame, but the mom shadow is like behind him through a curtain.
Shit like that,
so you can see his mom is there, but she's through a curtain,
and you can just hear her yapping.
Shit.
You can hear her. And that's what this movie
is so mind blowing that like you conceive of that shot. There's so many different ways you can shoot that, and to shoot it in that way, that's the kind of shit that you get in every Ari Aster movie. There's going to be shots that you're like, holy shit, the way that they conceived of that shot is. I was mind blown by some of the shots in this movie. That one really stuck out to me.
I think Ari needs to do TV shows. Does anyone agree? Like, I think because
No.
I'm
there's
good.
No,
I think he should
that's
do
definitely
TV
not going to agree with that.
Let me tell you why. Because similar to the scene, do you notice how much he has where you do like background talking? So there's like a front conversation happening, a main conversation, and he has like characters in the background yelling or continuing their conversation. So you can't really tell what everyone's saying. That happens a lot in like, I think It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It happens in like, there's like a lot of like kind of funny shows that do that where there's like multiple conversations happening at once. And you have to catch it or not. And I think he did that a lot in this movie. He did it a lot. If you go watch it again, and I was like, that's fucking cool. Like,
Hear me out.
Yeah.
Hear me out. Next season of Love Island, directed and edited by Ari Aster. That man will. You want to hate some characters?
That should become Squid Game instantly.
But Ari can't work with those people. Like,
He doesn't have to. He can be in a box somewhere, just making them look even more insane. I'd watch that.
That would actually work.
Now Blood Eagle them.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would much rather see
Bring out the bear suits.
just people getting shot.
There's not enough violence in Love Island. Is there? I don't know.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I haven't
want
really
her to do
said.
TV.
I haven't really said what I think about this movie. I kind of think this is the funniest movie of the year.
It was very funny.
I genuinely,
It is really funny.
I genuinely think like it might be. They don't make comedies anymore, but I genuinely think this might be like the best comedy.
Did you see Friendship?
Yeah, didn't like it. I'm good.
Oh.
Good on that. Good on whatever Tim Robinson is selling. I'm okay. And I know people are going to get mad at me for saying that. It's just not my speed. You know, there's a couple.
Are you saying you didn't laugh when he had to keep going around that drive-through because you want to pay it for?
There's a couple.
That's the funniest shit ever, man.
There's some Tim Robinson stuff that I'm like, this is the funniest thing that I've ever seen, and there's other stuff where I'm like, oh my god, stop talking. Like,
I mean, the scene from Friendship where he's like, we should have never gotten out of Afghanistan could have been in it.
That is it should have been in the Afghanistan. Like, I just want to say that there's a scene where I forget, he's a comedian, but he's Tim Robinson adjacent. I think they're friends, but he just pops up out of nowhere. They start arguing, which is like a Tim Robinson bit. But then he goes up and he's like, yeah, and another thing, I don't think we ever should have left Afghanistan. And
that's Connor O'Malley, one of the funniest people on the planet.
It's so good.
He's so funny.
Well, I agree with you. You cooking this is
no. I think it's one of the funniest things, and because really it not only obviously, it shines a light on the people of like masking, no masking. It does all that stuff, but it also like, and I guess this is the centrist that's still in me that's left over from when I was a teenager and grew up in Livingston, Texas. But like, it points a light at the performative white liberal a little bit in a way that I'm like, yeah, like, you know what? Sure. You know what? That's fine. Like, especially like the white performative liberal teenager and the scene. And it's burned into my memory where he is going to his parents and eating dinner at the dinner table in front of a rack of guns. And he's talking about how white people need to be ashamed of their whiteness. And like, we need to elevate black people and like all of this. And his parents are just stunned looking at him. He said, what are you, R-word? You're fucking white. It's like,
that was really funny.
It's so good. And I laughed out loud. And you know what's funny is a lot of people in my theater, I was expecting like silence for a lot of this. A lot of people in my theater got this. Now it was only like 10 people in the theater, but a lot of people found all of this to be funny. Maybe they were laughing at
the entire time in the theater.
What?
All of us.
Yeah.
Everyone in the theater was dying laughing.
So that's interesting to see because y'all are in California, you know, notoriously Republican California, but like in different places, I think people really understood what this movie was actually kind of going for. Now, can it be accused of both siding things a little bit? Yeah, sure. I could see that argument in Dex. Like, I think your point is valid. I find it to be sort of like like what Ari Aster sees in the world. What we know from Beau is Afraid is like the world is fucked and we're fucked in it. And like, how do we respond to that? He just chose to do it this time. And I think a more palatable format than whatever Beau is Afraid was putting out there. And that I think that like, he's willing to take the risk of being like, you know, people like our good boy that directed the Northman, Robert Eggers, won't make a movie set in normal times because he doesn't want to deal with cell phones.
No.
And Ari Aster is like, hey, this is how your cell phone is killing your brain. You want to see it on the movie screen. And I find that to be endearing a little bit. He's not scared to like make a movie. And I didn't know if I wanted a movie based on COVID, because much like I've said on this podcast, it's like, I'm good with like COVID media. Like even with them, like, and this is going to sound super like Eddington coded, but like Law and Order SVU or whatever, when they were just pumping out episodes during the 2020s, and they were just like, they were wearing masks solving crimes. And I'm just like, I'm tired of seeing this. Like, I don't know what, like, I see it in my everyday life, but in that way, he actually chose to tackle this thing that is the echoes of COVID are going to ripple throughout probably the rest of my lifetime, to be completely honest with you. And I don't think we have solved this. And I think that he has put like placing a mirror in front of people's faces and saying like, yo, like, what are we doing here, guys? And I think we need to, much like Superman, I think we need to like talk to each other and solve our problems together, which he doesn't quite say that, but like Tyler, you kept mentioning it as like, these people aren't talking to each other. And if they are talking to each other, like the whole thesis statement of the movie is when Pedro Pascal and Joaquin Phoenix go to talk to each other, kind of like a square down on like at high noon on the street, but they're talking to each other with passive aggressive things. And Joaquin Phoenix comes out, I'm recording this. Like, I just want to know that I'm recording this. And like, that's the whole thesis statement of the movie. Like that whole thing. And look, there's a little bit of like AI boogeyman stuff going on there too, which I agree. AI bad, which we should do in the
that plot point didn't go far enough for me.
It didn't go
I really
anywhere.
liked the inclusion of it, but it's like quite literally went nowhere. And I was just like, how many things did he want to put into this movie? It feels like to me he was like, I'm making a contemporary movie, but I'm never going to make another contemporary movie again. So I got to get all my contemporary 2025 ideals or arguments into this film, because I was like, big AI in this film makes sense until the end, and I was like, that didn't really turn into anything for me.
That's what I'm saying, though. All of it feels that way to me.
With both of you.
All of it feels that way. It feels like they were sitting in a room and they were like, what are some things that happened in 2020? And they just threw them all into this movie. Like, just like, oh yeah, that shit happened.
But that is what 2020 felt like to me personally.
I don't get it, though. Like, that's
stuff just kept happening
about it.
Yeah.
Like, I have hated, honestly, I've genuinely hated how every other person has made the pandemic and the mask wearing a tool, right, in their storytelling. It's like, oh, you have to have a mask and you have to do 6 feet, and like I feel like that about with you, Dex. It's like, we went through it. You don't have to use this as a tool.
It is the most well-documented time in history. We all saw it.
That, you know, maybe we are on lockdown and maybe we have to wear masks and maybe someone will get mad that we're wearing a mask. But Ari was like, no, fuck all that. I'm going to immerse you for real. That's why there were so many shots of like, you know, Joaquin Phoenix character like standing 6 feet apart from the dude in front of the big mayor thing. Like, that's fucking brilliant. That's a great scene when they're talking and they're like, he wants to get closer to him and he's like, nope, 6 feet. Like, he backs up because like he's not using it as a tool. Like, the entire movie is like, I'm going to immerse you in this white ass fucking city with a white man and a Latino family and a black cop. And I'm just going to like, everyone's fucked. Everyone's weird. I'm not really going to say anything because all of you are going to like, who is he going to make any of us change our views in one movie? No. So why would he even fucking try? Like, I'm just going to show all of you how you all fucking look this entire fucking time. All of us, including myself. I think Ari's like, including myself, we all looked fucking ridiculous. But we made it through because did anything really happen? No, everyone still got COVID. People still died. Things still happen. AI is still big AI. Like, I don't agree that like AI didn't do enough. The movie literally ends with him in a vegetative state and the mother-in-law like running the big AI. That's insane. I don't think we need to say anything more. It's like, no, it doesn't matter how many Blackout Tuesday posts you make, the big AI is still going to come. Like, we're still here. We left a fucking pandemic and we're still here, like, fighting for our rights through like filmmaking and screenwriting because of AI is here. Nothing changed. And I think that's what Ari is saying without saying. Like, everyone's just doing their best and you can be on whatever side you want to be on, but like, everyone's fucked.
I will say this directly cribs from a lot of people. Like, he is obviously influenced. Like, this is a Coen Brothers movie. This is like
definitely a Coen Brothers movie.
Like, I had mentioned Quentin Tarantino before. Like, it definitely takes from that. I mean, the title is No Country for Woke Men or No Country for White Men. Like, it is directly that. And the fact that he turns it up at the very end to make a like a neo Western where we're all not expecting it. Like I was like, once they started kind of, it's like 3 films. Like obviously it's a political commentary at the very beginning. It morphs into sort of this crime thriller in the middle of it when he breaks bad, like you said, and we're forced to stick with him. And I thought that part of the movie was riveting, where you're just like, oh my God, what are we gonna do with this? And then it completely flips it on its head and goes ape shit at the very end of the movie. And I was like, whoa, like what is this? And that's why I felt the movie resonated with me, and not so much of like the commentary, and that just that like he was willing to really just throw it out and like make this huge thing at the very end of the movie. And I ran with it. I didn't know if I would like that coming away, but the more that I've left, I've like, yeah, the last 30 minutes of that movie goes, and I was in it because I was going to go to the bathroom, and then it just kept going. And I was like, oh, I got to sit down. I got to figure out what's happening here. And
dude, but as you're talking, Royden, that's all of Ari Aster's movie. Like the way you just broke down each act, every single Ari Aster movie is like that. That's Hereditary. It starts off with this like, oh, family, breaking down, it's about family and there's traumas behind that. And then it's like in the second act, you like sit with this one character, what the fuck? And then the third act, everyone fucking dies, and it's like, oh, cults, right? Like that's Midsummer. Oh, family, sadness. Oh, let's go on a trip. Oh, in the middle, we're staying with this one character. It's like, oh, fuck, and people are dying. And then everyone dies at the end. Everyone starts crying and wailing and fires. Like, that's all of Ari's movies. Like, the way that he set up Eddington is the way that he sets up all his movies. They're just, different, things. Beau is Afraid is the same way.
But for some reason, I think Beau is Afraid just left such a bad taste in my mouth that I was coming into this with some reservations that I had completely memory hold almost how I felt about Hereditary and Midsommar, which movies that I like, in Midsommar more than I think, most. But I think that
no, that's because you got good taste, bro. That's his best film easily.
We love Florence Pugh on this podcast.
No, it isn't.
Right? But,
what Florence Pugh does in that movie, it should not be possible for a human to obtain those levels that she was obtaining. The swag was so high for her.
But no, I just think that for some reason, whatever the commentary, whatever I mostly because it was so funny, I just kept I just really found it to be really interesting and funny. But then it creeped up on me almost as this sort of thriller that it becomes. And
I also think Beau is Afraid is really funny. I would just like to say that. I think it's really, really, really funny.
All right.
That Mariah Carey gag that they do in Beau is Afraid is the funniest thing I've seen on screen. That shit is so good, man.
Mo has to go. Mo, real quick, where do we find what you're doing?
Yeah, this is what we watch. I got my film festival coming up. Get your passes, for real. It's one of the greatest events of the year that celebrates film and television, August 23rd in LA. Follow me at Miss Peachorino. That's MS Peach ERINO. And at WWW Film TV right here, what we watch, film and television on all platforms. So yeah, that's where you can find me. And as always, I love being on One Take. Very excited.
Thank you for joining us.
We got to get you back for the 200th episode.
Oh my God, I'm always going to be on like an 80th, 75th, 100th. So I'm back. I'm with it. Thank you so much. I loved Eddington. I'm having a great time. This summer, we knew that this summer was going to be great with film, and movies are just really, really, directors are really in their bags. So I'm excited. So yeah, I'll be back.
And we got 3 good superhero movies in one calendar year, which is crazy to think about.
Hold on.
Thunderbolts, Superman.
Thunderbolts. You like Thunderbolts?
Okay, because one of them wasn't good. I just want to make sure the 3 were clear, because there's one that was the Hulk movie that should whatever. Anyways,
we're not.
I didn't even know that. Did that come out this year? No, maybe just we'll put
it
that
actually did. When I was talking about it the other day, people were like, "You just forgot that Captain America came out." I was like, "Yes, I did. I forgot."
Yes, I did.
I forgot about it.
Bye.
Bye.
Lord Dex, get in your bag, bro. Stop cooking.
I'm trying,
bro. Figure it out, man.
I need him to get good. I'm sorry.
He's great. This is so crazy. Bye.
Bye.
Bye to Mo.
Speaking of Midsummer, real quick, I think the comparison that I would make between Midsummer and this movie is that Midsummer, the things that are happening are chaotic, but the narrative doesn't feel chaotic. It's all focused on Florence Pugh. She's going through grief, and then it turns into revenge, and that makes sense. This movie, it feels like he's telling this political story and he like doesn't know how to end it. So he just like, I'll just kill Pedro Pascal and we'll just wrap that part up. And then he's like, I'm telling, this story about big AI, and he like doesn't know how to end it. So he just like makes Joaquin Phoenix a vegetable, and he's like, okay, now that's over. Like, like it just all feels like he doesn't know where he's going, and he's just like, okay, I can kill these guys, and then that'll be over.
Can I pitch a name for at the end after he's been injured and in the wheelchair?
Please.
Stephen Hawking.
God damn it.
That's really good.
Oh my God.
How did that black cop survive? How did that black cop survive?
Yeah, that was.
Did it not feel like to y'all that the black cop only survived because it would be pretty shitty to have the white cops quite literally
to frame him
the
for
guy
a murder
and then have him
blow
blow
him
him
up?
up? And I can't do that in the movie, so I'm just gonna have him magically survive because I did not understand that.
I don't know.
Scars.
I don't quite understand the whole Antifa bit in general, other than like they wanted a shootout. Like, so who's he gonna get in a shootout with? But then like people have said crisis actors and stuff, like obviously because they're flown in and stuff like that. Like, what do we think about that whole scene? And obviously we don't have to go too deep with it, but he's trying to say something, and I didn't quite jive, but it kind of went out the window, and I didn't care when it became a first-person shooter video game.
I'm glad you said that. I think that it actually matters who the reckoning is, specifically because unlike, say, Midsommar, like you don't watch Midsommar and think that Florence Pugh deserves a reckoning. She's acted in a way that she deserves bad things to happen to her. That's not what you think. When you watch Hereditary or when you watch Beau's Afraid, you don't think that these people deserve this. But when you get to the end of Hereditary, when you get to the end of Eddington, you think that he's got what he's got coming. He deserves it.
Right.
So who actually delivers that reckoning is important. And I think it's weird to make it Antifa / not Antifa. I thought that kind of muddied the message for me personally. It looked cool. It was fun as shit. But who the actual bad actors are, I think that does matter. And I didn't necessarily think I understood or agreed with the direction that he took it in terms of who the reckoning was coming from.
Yeah, that was. I agree. I was like, it was another kind of weird. All right, I guess that's who's the villain is going to be now. But it gave us a great 25-minute long scene of him run around. We got some asthma representation on screen.
Shout out.
Important.
Love a rescue inhaler.
He can't shout out. That was the problem. He was trying.
That was literally the problem.
But it is funny that he chooses in this movie, Teach, and you kind of touched on it a little bit. It's like okay, well, you're sitting with the villain. Now he murders a father and son in cold blood from 1,000 yards out. He's responsible then for the death of not only his deputy, but he's responsible for the maiming of his other deputy almost. And then he's also responsible for that poor cop, the Indian cop, getting his leg blown off and then shot in the head. He's
the reason his wife is in a cult now.
Yeah, he's the reason his wife is
literally.
We haven't even really touched on Austin Butler and stuff and all this, but I
would love to.
Yeah,
Austin Butler's got it, man. He's got it.
The idea,
he's just got it.
But real quick, the idea of him taking this unlikable character and he's just like, okay, you're just going to sit with him now the rest of the movie is like a really interesting exercise in futility for him to be just like, do it. You got to sit with him. Sorry. And then he gets his, like you said, he gets his comeuppance in a way that I think we're all supposed to be a little relieved by, even though it is almost weirdly heartbreaking at the end of the movie, but it's also hilarious, especially when when his nurse takes off his pants and gets in the bed with his mother-in-law. I cried laughing. I thought it was so funny.
What was that?
I don't know. It was just funny. I just thought it was so funny. What is the worst possible thing in the world? You're stuck with your QAnon mother-in-law in a vegetative state for the rest of your life. And your male nurse that is taking care of you that slaps you in the back of the head is having sex with her right next to you. He's in hell. He's in hell. That's what this whole thing is.
In hell. That would have been better than his actual fate.
Yeah. So anyway, real quick, let's talk about the stars that pop up in the movie. Obviously, it feels like they killed Pedro Pascal because he had to go film Fantastic Four and whatever.
Yeah.
They just kind of got him out of here. But Austin Butler and Emma Stone, Oscar nominees, Oscar winner for Emma Stone, but two of the biggest names in Hollywood are in the movie, I think 10 minutes.
Mhm.
And people have said on, like, oh, I wish they were in it more, yada, yada, yada. But then people have come back and said it is an interesting thing to do in this movie. It gives it a little bit more gravitas, but to have these characters come in, they're 100 miles an hour talking nonsense and then leave. Like, it's just, it's kind of interesting in that way. It feels like something from movies of a yesteryear that you don't really get anymore.
Does Emma Stone have any sort of like production credit?
She might have been a producer on it, maybe.
Well, that's a good question, actually.
Because that would make sense to me, where she's like part of the movie. But I mean, we talked about Emma Stone doesn't make a bad movie. I'll watch anything that
she doesn't.
She's got such good taste. If she's in it,
She doesn't make a bad movie anymore. She was in the wilderness there for a little bit.
Okay, I'm saying when she has the like power to decide, okay, I'm gonna choose to do this movie, like she's on it, man. She's
not a
one of my
producer.
favorite actors.
She's not a producer on this, actually.
She's got some stuff that no one's been watching. Nobody saw Kinds of Kindness except for me, and she was cooking
I saw
in
it
that.
twice.
She
Opening
was
weekend
cooking in there.
Yeah.
She was fucking smoking. Like, nobody saw Eddington, which I'm not surprised by. I'm not surprised that no one saw Eddington, but also, like, her hit rate is just crazy. She does not miss. She's working with the most interesting directors. She's working with the most interesting actors and actresses, and she brings so much to every role. I thought she was really good at this role. It's just like this, she's not on camera for very long.
Yeah.
Austin Butler's on camera for even less time, and I thought he really I thought he located something. Okay, I could see why she would want to chase Austin Butler across the country, even though like the vibes might not be necessarily too good. And the conversation between Joaquin and Austin Butler is just so funny, man.
He's like, what are you talking about? Like, wait, what?
The way that Joaquin is trying to figure out a polite way to challenge him for saying complete bullshit is just really, really funny. Really funny 5 minutes of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're just sitting there watching Austin Butler talk about like being molested in the forest or whatever, and you're just like, you're like, what the fuck? And then Joaquin Phoenix actually says, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like, thank you. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one tripping.
Wait, you were the only one to get away? Yeah, no.
Yeah, Austin Butler can do pretty much anything. Like, he can be a member of a cult. He can be a cult leader. He can be fucking Elvis. He can like, just do any fucking thing.
Ride a motorcycle.
I'll be
do
there.
whatever you want, bud.
Yeah, no, I just found that the end of the, it's been, I think after the coda basically of this movie, I think was so like I just had to say, like, I think he's in hell, and I think that's the comeuppance of the movie, and it kind of wraps that up in a interesting bow at the end of the movie. And basically Ari Aster is like, we're in hell, by the way. So
they're fucking your wife and getting her pregnant when she wouldn't fuck you.
Yeah. I think, like, I gave this movie, I think it's a B+, maybe an A- even for me. After I might have to rewatch it again. I think it's hilarious, and I really enjoy. Oh, we haven't even mentioned that the performative white teen, which I mentioned, he has that scene with his family at the dinner table, but they just make him Kyle Rittenhouse at the end of this movie. I forgot to mention that. It's a really funny bit.
They literally just made him Kyle Rittenhouse.
He's like, "What's up, guys? Moved to Florida," and he's like puffing an elf bar or whatever. Like,
the fact that he was holding his camera while he's shooting the Antifa guy, I was just like, Ari has a lot to say about our phones and our cameras, because the fact that he literally is holding the phone, he misses the first 4 or 5 shots specifically because he's holding the phone, and then he starts hitting shots. It's like, you have a lot to say about these internet kids, but you have a lot to say about the fact that he was the woke soy boy, but now he's Kyle Rittenhouse. I thought that was really good.
I saved your life. But, no, we haven't even talked about Ari Aster's from New Mexico, but we haven't even talked about sort of like the desolation and rape of the American West, that he blatantly puts in here.
So good.
And but he it's so blatant that he falls through the bones of Geronimo in that museum, and it's just like, oh my god!
I love a police jurisdiction argument too. I love this happened on our land, and yeah, it was great.
I love
he was in Killers of the Flower Moon, right?
They just keep saying, this is happening on stolen land. That was kind of their default. Just say that, just sprinkle that on there.
Yeah, he was like, I shouldn't even be giving this speech, but I will. So good.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So yeah, that has been Eddington and Fantastic Four. We sped run through the Fantastic Four interview.
Pedro
or-
Pascal
Movies.
Power Hour.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
talk about two legitimately good movies.
Mhm.
That's always a good time.
Yeah, so yeah, Pedro Pascal fans in the chat, I guess. But no, I just yeah, two good movies. He may be overexposed. He might have to take a break. I don't know where he found time to do all of this and The Last of Us, and he was also in The Materialist, which we
Materialist.
never really even talked about.
Sure.
But Tyler, at the end of every episode, we kind of really do a roundabout about what we're watching. What's been on the docket? I know you say you have a newborn, so the I don't know what you could possibly be watching, but
Well, as Dex knows, I'm very excited about the Naked Gun. That trailer,
too. I will be there.
hits every time. I'm also it's written and directed by Akiva Shaver from The Lonely Island, and I'm a huge SNL nerd, and so want him to do really well. But I also just want to see big budget comedies in theaters again. I mean, you
Yeah.
just mentioned that this might be the funniest movie of the year. That's not great for us comedy lovers. So I really want the Naked Gun to do well. I'll be there opening night. I'm excited for that. Outside of that, I watch a whole lot of Astros baseball. That's mostly what I do.
brother, now
Yeah.
real big series we just had.
Did y'all
Yeah.
really let a rookie have the greatest game in MLB
Hey,
history against y'all?
hey.
So I hopped
Hey.
on I hopped on late here, although it ended up not being late because we just weren't recording. But I hopped on. I host another podcast called Crush City Territory. That's with Chandler Rome and Josh Reddick, and we talk about Astros baseball. So you can find me on there. But yeah, I'm pumped for the Naked Gun. I hope it's good.
Dex, what are we watching?
So I just wrapped up season 6 of The Office. Finally, we're moving and grooving there.
Can you tell us about how Scott Stotts treated you in your soul?
Oh my god, that was painful, dude. That shit.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Easily the worst episode of the series so far.
15 years later.
I think about the laptop batteries
Me
so
too.
much.
That is just so funny.
The way he almost redeems himself of like, but to go to college you need a laptop, and they're all like, all right, fine. He's like, and you can't operate those without batteries. It's so funny.
Yeah, that shit was just like painful and awkward. And like I was telling somebody else, like it just feels more mean spirited than most of the Office episodes.
For sure.
It's like they're just shitting on these kids randomly for no reason.
So good.
But yeah, power to that. So yeah, now I know what everyone's been talking about. Because yeah, I've heard Scott's Tots as a reference or whatever for forever, but never actually watched it. So I had no idea what anybody was talking about. But now I know it. Yeah, it's as bad as everyone says it is. But yeah, right now, some of the main things going on are, I think the last episode I just watched was Andy's play. So Aaron and Andy are doing their weird on again, off again thing, which I'm over. Like, let's wrap this shit up.
Yeah, most people were.
I got bad news for you.
You're not Jip and Pam. We don't need this. All right. Like the Yearners already won. So let's wrap this shit up. I just watched Dazed and Confused for the first time. Shout out to Royden. Gave me the Criterion Collection edition for my birthday. So I watched that for the first time. Very good. Richard Linklater, king of the vibes. Just like out in middle of nowhere, Texas, just killing time and having kids be dumbass kids. And it works every time.
Incredible at dudes hanging out, driving cars. He's great.
Yeah, he's good at dudes and cars. He's good at that.
Yeah, just, all the little kids just buying cigarettes and booze and just getting fucked up in the middle of nowhere and having a good time. And then the day ends and the movie's over. It's like, that works. And I also just watched, what did I just watch? I lost it. It'll come back to me. Whatever.
I was gonna say I did forget to mention. Have you all seen Taskmaster? Do you know what that is? It's like a British
reality show.
Yeah, it's like a British game show. And Jason Mantzoukas, who his face, he's from The League, but also like
Big Mouth.
Yeah, good. The Good Place and Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He was one of the 5.
I do know his face. Yeah,
and everybody knows his face, even if you don't know. Oh, that's Jason Mantzoukas. He's hilarious. Taskmaster Series 19 is on YouTube. It's really, really good. I encourage everybody to watch that.
Yeah, I've seen clips of him on that show, and they're
He's
just
great.
roast him, and he's just like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Like, he's just like,
It's really
this
good.
is
It's one of
country.
my favorite shows, and I was very excited that he was going to be on there because I really like him. But definitely watch that.
Tej, what are you watching?
I watched Happy Gilmore too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't say that I loved it. I didn't hate it. I actually think that some of what they're trying to do with the old school golf versus new school golf with the live thing, I think is a really cool way to write into a movie. I'll give them a lot of credit for that. I think that's touching on something realer than most comedies, and I think that's a really cool thing to touch on. But it just felt like nothing. There's like a whole bunch of appearances. It feels like I thought the budget would be much bigger than I guess is being reported. I know that Netflix gave him about $90 bajillion to make like 10 movies, so he's got to make movies. I love Adam Sandler. I respect Adam Sandler. I'm glad that he's getting checks over there, but this movie didn't do much for me. It's not bad. I didn't laugh when I was watching this film. I love the original. I actually rewatched it for probably the millionth time right before I watched number 2, and I just couldn't. It just didn't do anything for me. So I did watch Happy Gilmore 2.
I watched Happy Gilmore 2 as well. Just a mini review on it.
What'd you think?
I actually really liked it. I was nostalgic. I was a little drunk, but I was nostalgia baited. I was nostalgia baited in with what they were doing. The intercutting of the old movie into the new movie, like
we have to
seen
stop
Happy Gilmore.
Doing that.
It's kind of weird.
To stop doing that.
The Scotty Scheffler bit at the end of that is the funniest stuff that I've seen in a movie in a long time. The self-referential stuff with Scotty Scheffler is like,
I know that he's like not when he's getting arrested at some point. He says not again, and I was like, oh, I'm supposed to know that he's had some troubles off the course. It was fine. It was just fine.
For those of you who don't know, he's the number 1 golfer in the world and was quite literally arrested before the Masters because on trumped up charges for that because they thought he wasn't, they said he like blew through a stop or
I remember that. I do remember this now.
Blew through a stop or something like that. But anyway, they arrested him, let him go, and then he went and won the Masters. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of interesting. But
I liked. I thought Bad Bunny was really great in the film.
Mm-hmm.
I like seeing Bad Bunny and stuff. I know he's got more stuff coming. I like seeing Bad Bunny in wrestling. I like seeing Bad Bunny as an actor. I just want him to keep doing all those things. And I thought he was literally the best part of the film. But it's just fine. I also finally saw Companion, and I liked it. I liked it. I like the Jack Quaid-ness of it. It's a kind of a cool way to tell the story. I was into it. I was into Companion. I liked it.
Yeah. Okay, so that's you watched Companion. Okay, let me run down. Tyler, I got to follow you on Letterboxd. Let me look at my Letterboxd real quick. What I've watched. You know that have you ever heard of this movie called Amadeus?
Mm-hmm.
Eight Oscar wins back in the day. Not a bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
Hot take.
Yeah, hot take. Rewatched Happy Gilmore. I do think it's like a joke per minute. It's silly and stupid, the original, but like it is funnier than what this one is. And in fact, it also looks better too. But
why did they kill his wife in this second movie?
Why
did they do that?
It's so crazy that is like such a weird like way to open the movie. But
didn't it feel like that's a scheduling death? Like she can't do it. So
she's a bajillionaire from Modern Family. She's not doing nothing.
Yeah, she like obviously yeah, but like didn't it kind of feel like she was like I could be on set for 4 days, and they were like, okay, you're on set for 4 days, got it. We'll change something. It felt so random, and I know that she's made a ton of money from Modern Family, which is a great show, by the way. But I just thought that was so weird. It kind of came out of nowhere, and I was like, when they killed what's his name, Stubbs, the guy with the hand, Chubbs. It made perfect sense. Like, he's got to go through this journey. He's got to finish off the journey without Chubbs. Killing the wife, I was like, yeah, why do we do that? Like, that actually didn't add anything to the film. It was just so random. I thought that was weird.
All right, Tyler, we got to let you go real quick. I know you plugged your podcast, but one more time, where can they find what you're doing?
Come find me on X, the Everything app. It all happens on X.
Oh, gosh.
I'm Tyler C. Stafford there. I'm Tyler C. Stafford on Letterboxd. Go listen to Crush City Territory. And I'll see y'all soon.
All right, Tyler.
Thanks for coming on, Tyler. We
man.
appreciate you.
Yep. See y'all.
Thanks for hanging out. All right, just real quick, I'll wrap up what I'm watching. This is weird. Look at this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So I'll wrap up what I'm watching. I watched. I finished Princess Mononoke, Studio Ghibli film. Really, really good. I really enjoyed it more than like Spirited Away and some of the other stuff that I've watched from Studio Ghibli, actually. And then I watched Happy Gilmore 2. And I bought it on the Criterion Collection. I was talking to Dex before this. It's like a film knower. It's like everyone that loves film. It's like, you got to watch this. It was called Sorcerer, which is a really crazy movie from the 1970s. A bunch of they released it on 4K and Blu-ray on the Criterion Collection. And it's from the guy that made it. Hold on, I just have to get all of this right. Sorcerer. It stars Roy Scheider, who you know from Jaws, but it's a William Friedkin film. If you don't know William Friedkin, like, he made The French Connection, The Exorcist, a lot of those classic 70s and 80s movies. But this was sort of like a notorious flop in its time, but it has since sort of been reclaimed. And anyway, I need to finish it, but I was watching it and on 4K and on my PlayStation, like, you know, William Friedkin intended when he made the movie. And it's awesome to look at, man. It is a spectacle to watch, and it just goes. I got to finish it, but so far it's like a 4 or 5 star movie. It's really, really good. And then I had too many drinks last night and started Oppenheimer on 4K for like the 15th time.
Real simple.
As one does.
Yeah, as one does. I came away from it kind of thinking, I was like, I think that Cillian Murphy's performance is like the best performance of all time. Like, I'm just kind of like I know that isn't true, but I was sitting there going like, this is awesome what he's doing in this movie. And
I tweeted the other day that I think that's the best movie of the 2020 so far. Like, it's. Yeah, I can see people saying a couple of other options, right? But like, to me, Oppenheimer is like the movie of the 2020s to this point.
Yeah. Good film, that Oppenheimer, that 7-time, 8-time Oscar-winning Oppenheimer.
Have y'all seen the teaser in one of your movies for The Odyssey? Have y'all seen the teaser with Holland? It's got Holland, but it's got the Punisher is really doing most of the monologue in it. And let me tell you what I realized from this teaser. The Odyssey is going to fucking bang, bro. That shit is going to be so fun. I cannot wait for this film.
That Chris Nolan, he's got a future in this business. I tell you.
Man. But also putting out your movie tickets a year early and having sellouts, fucking barf, bro. What happened to the game I used to love?
That's nonsense.
Theaters right now in LA that are sold out for a movie that drops next year. I'm not getting movie tickets a year early, bro. What are we fucking doing? Why do I have to contend with these people that literally sold out theaters a year early in advance? Why do we do that? What do we accomplish?
Somebody said, "Yeah, man, I don't think I can have a $25 charge sitting on my account for a year."
Utter woke nonsense.
Woke nonsense, bro. Get that shit the fuck out of here, Nolan.
What do you think the aftermarket sale on StubHub for Christopher Nolan's Odyssey on IMAX is going for?
Bro, they're selling it like the sneakers app. This is so nasty that this is a thing that we have to deal with as humans. Let me tell you what's never going to happen. Okay, this is a Real Movie Boys podcast. Okay, you address me as a Regal gold member, bro. You address me as such. I will never repurchase one of your bum-ass resale tickets ever in my life, so
Not
don't
once.
fucking ask me, bro.
And like, bro, it's the
Get the
Odyssey.
fuck
I
outta
know
here.
what happens. Like, you know what I'm saying?
We all can read.
What happened?
Like, you're not gonna get me to read Avengers Doomsday. It's like, okay, bro, I gotta be in there like pretty close to opening night, if not like on that Thursday morning, because like I cannot have the internet spoil it for me. But the Odyssey, bro, I know what happens. We good. Like, I can get to that when I get
literally
to
just
it.
wait.
Dex was king of popcorn reading in 9th grade.
I found the other movie that I had watched since we last spoke. It's Oh Hi,
Yeah.
the Molly Gordon joint, and Molly Gordon is the voice of a generation. Oh Hi is just fine. It's definitely something you can watch at home on your MacBook Pro. Like,
Beautiful place.
Yeah, you don't need to go to the theater to see that, but I did enjoy it. It's very.
It's like O, comma high, not
Yeah.
Oh Hi.
Oh, not Ohio, the place.
Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
but it feels very COVID era in that there's like 5 people in it, and like it takes place in one house in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, it's definitely a interesting movie. There's a lot of like, commentary on like the weird dating scene that we have now, and everyone being super non-committal and all that kind of stuff is in there.
Logan
In an
Lerman's in
interesting
this?
way. Yeah, and I recommend checking it out. But yeah, you can wait till it's on Hulu or HBO Max or wherever it ends up down the line. You don't need to go to the theater for that.
Nice. I do want to check that out though. But Logan Learman has rarely let me down, and like we've been with Logan Learman now for like 15 years.
Yeah, it's been a little minute there.
That's kind of crazy. Anyway, so yeah, we got to start the Tom Holland Oscar campaign. We want to do that, or do we have to wait and see?
I think we gotta wait and see, but I like what I saw in that little teaser, bro.
We gotta wait and see, man. We can't be calling it
Been
early on here.
tough sailing for our Spider-Mans out there outside of the Spider-Man. It has been tough sailing for our guy.
I forgot we're getting a new Spider-Man before we get Doomsday. I'm expecting great things.
Are
Yeah, I think that's the order. Yeah, the new Spider-Man movie is coming, then Doomsday.
Well, I know that they're shooting Doomsday, and they keep going like, "We're bringing in script doc." It's like, oh no,
They're building
Bro.
the plane while trying to land it.
James Gunn was so right about y'all. Y'all keep doing this shit, bro. Please stop starting to film these movies. Also, did you see that there was another news art thing that came out today that Blade is gonna be shoot next year? Why do they keep playing in our face, bro?
brother.
Why y'all keep? Why do y'all keep playing in our face?
there is
Why
a
is there news coming
non-zero
out?
chance that movie never comes out.
Guys,
There's a
please
non-zero chance that it's the worst movie ever made.
That's true too.
Please just ride the positive wave of Fantastic Four. We don't want to hear no more of these news stories. When I heard that Rebecca Romaine Stamos does not know if she's done filming for this film because they're literally still writing this film, even though she'd already filmed scenes, that shit broke my heart, bro. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to know any of that shit, bro.
If there's anything we've learned from Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts is that what you got to do is you got to pick an Oscar-nominated actress and you got to put her at the center of your film. You just got to let her cook, and that's all.
Facts.
Don't do shit else.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, right? Pretty simple.
Let Florence cook. Let Vanessa Kirby cook. Pick another one, and let them cook.
All right. Well, that has been a One Take Podcast, episode 199. 200 coming in a couple of weeks. I don't know what we're going to do for that. We may, for 100, we brought everybody on to give us their worst takes, which was great. But we'll have to see what we're going to do for that. We're going to try to get some of your favorites back. Of course.
Maybe we got to do something old for 200. Let's chat offline. Let's chat offline about that.
Yeah, maybe
this might have to be some old classic.
season 2.
Oh gosh.
What was that rock movie we always said we were gonna watch and never did?
Oh, what is that rock movie that everybody wanted us to watch? It's like such a weird movie. Hold on, I gotta find that so we can.
That's funny, man.
What is that movie? I did see
It starts with a C, but I can't fucking remember it. Justin Timberlake is in it.
Golly, it was absolutely nothing. It came and went. It was him trying to make like a comedy.
Southland Tales.
Southland Tales, yeah. So we're gonna do Southland Tales for episode 200. That'd be a funny bit, actually, if we were just like, yeah, guys.
$374,000 at the box office.
Oh man, what a jeez. Anyway, yeah. So that has been a One Take Podcast. You can like, download, rate, and subscribe, and you can go watch this hopefully on YouTube. I guess it's on YouTube, and I guess I recorded this, so we're gonna have to see after this is all said and done. But thank you so much for always watching, downloading, and subscribing. Go like and subscribe on YouTube. Dex, what are we doing?
Hashtag support Florence Pugh. Thunderbolts now available to watch at home, so do that.
Yeah, good movie, that Thunderbolt.